Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Inside Yellowstone legal drama after Taylor Sheridan once sued Cole Hauser. Taylor Sheridan, creator of Yellowstone, filed a lawsuit against actor Cole Hauser's coffee brand, Free Rein Coffee Company, in November 2023. The lawsuit, filed by Sheridan's company, Bosque Ranch, accused Hauser's brand of trademark infringement, unfair competition, and false advertising. The legal dispute centered around similarities in the logos of Bosque Ranch and Free Rein. Bosque Ranch's logo features intertwined B and R letters, while Free Rein used a similar design with F and R letters. Bosque Ranch claimed that these similarities could confuse consumers into thinking the two brands were related. Hauser launched Free Rein Coffee in October 2023, just months after Bosque Ranch introduced its own coffee line in partnership with Community Coffee. The timing and design similarities prompted Bosque Ranch to seek a permanent injunction against Hauser's brand and compensation for damages. Hauser continued to promote his coffee brand on social media, despite the pending lawsuit at the time. In a November 2023 Instagram post, Hauser encouraged followers with the caption, "Morning Crew's Free Rein Coffee Company, get up and get after it." In early 2024, Bosque Ranch voluntarily dismissed the lawsuit. The reasons for the dismissal were not disclosed. The Yellowstone series has faced several issues this year, including cast conflicts and production delays. Kevin Costner, who played John Dutton, exited after the first half of Season 5. He later revealed that the show's production was delayed due to an absence of scripts. The last ride. The courtroom was quiet, save for the scratch of pens on notepads. Taylor Sheridan, writer and creator of Yellowstone, sat at the plaintiff's table, his posture sharp as the Montana air. Across the room, Cole Hauser, Rip Wheeler himself, leaned back in his chair with an expression so neutral it could have been a poker face, or just Rip waiting for a bar brawl to erupt. The legal battle was as unexpected as it was sensational. Sheridan was suing Hauser for what he claimed was an unauthorized usage of Rip Wheeler's likeness in a whiskey brand that had taken the country by storm. Rip's Revenge whiskey, emblazoned with Hauser's rugged face and character, had become a bestseller, allegedly without Sheridan's consent. "Your Honor," Sheridan's lawyer began, adjusting his glasses, "this case is about intellectual property theft. Mr. Sheridan created the character Rip Wheeler, his look, his attitude, his ethos. And yet Mr. Hauser has exploited that creation for personal profit, violating their contract and undermining Mr. Sheridan's control over the Yellowstone brand." Hauser's lawyer, a sharp-eyed woman named Valerie Kane, shot to her feet. "Objection. Mr. Hauser is Rip Wheeler, Your Honor. He's not selling the brand of Rip, he's selling his own persona, a persona the public associates with him, not the creator." The judge, an older man with a Yellowstone Ranch bolo tie, raised a hand. "We'll proceed, but let's keep the grandstanding to a minimum." Outside the courthouse, the media frenzy was palpable. Fans of Yellowstone lined the streets holding signs that read, "Justice for Rip," and "Taylor, don't mess with the Duttons." The divide between Sheridan loyalists and Hauser enthusiasts was as wide as the Montana sky. Inside the courthouse cafeteria, Sheridan ran into Hauser during the lunch recess. What could have been a simple moment of awkward silence turned into a standoff worthy of the Dutton Ranch. "You know," Sheridan began, his voice low, "this all could have been avoided if you just picked up the phone." Hauser leaned against the counter, his blue eyes piercing as ever. "And what? Beg for permission to sell a whiskey I helped promote by making Rip the icon he is? Come on, Taylor. You know this isn't just about the whiskey." Sheridan's jaw tightened. "No, Cole. It's about respect. I built this world. I brought you into it, and now you're out here acting like you own it." "I am Rip," Hauser shot back, his voice rising slightly. "You can write all the lines you want, but I'm the one who brought him to life. I'm the reason people care." For a moment, it seemed like fists might fly, but a court clerk interrupted. "Gentlemen, we're resuming in 10 minutes. Back in the courtroom, the case took a dramatic turn when Sheridan's team introduced evidence. Emails allegedly sent from Hauser to his business partner discussing how to capitalize on Rip's brand. "Mr. Hauser," Sheridan's lawyer said, his tone triumphant, "isn't it true that you specifically mentioned Rip Wheeler by name in these emails?" Hauser leaned forward, his face serious. Yeah, I mentioned Rip. But that's because Rip's a part of me. Look, I've been an actor for decades, but nothing resonated with people like Rip. I wasn't exploiting Taylor's character, I was sharing a piece of myself. Sheridan's lawyer smirked. Sharing or selling? The courtroom murmured. Hauser glanced at the jury, composed of ranchers, local business owners, and a retired school teacher. Their expressions were a mix of intrigue and skepticism. Valerie Kane rose for the cross-examination. Mr. Hauser, let's be clear. Did Taylor Sheridan ever explicitly tell you that you couldn't associate your own image with Rip Wheeler for personal ventures? Hauser shook his head. No, not once. And did you, at any point, try to misrepresent yourself as the sole creator of Rip Wheeler? Absolutely not, Hauser replied, his voice firm. As the trial stretched into its second week, tensions flared. Fans packed the gallery, eager for a glimpse of the drama. Sheridan brought in Kevin Costner as a character witness, and the courtroom buzzed with excitement. Costner, ever the diplomat, tried to stay neutral. Look, he said, adjusting his tie, Taylor created a masterpiece with Yellowstone, but the actors bring their own spirit to the roles. Cole's connection to Rip, it's real. And that's what makes the show work. Sheridan frowned, but Hauser gave Costner a subtle nod of appreciation. In the final moments of the trial, the focus shifted to the heart of the matter, who truly owned Rip Wheeler. The closing arguments were fiery. Sheridan's lawyer painted a picture of betrayal, of an artist's vision being hijacked. If creators can't protect their work, what's to stop anyone from stealing it, he argued. Kane countered with a passionate defense of artistic collaboration. Rip Wheeler isn't just words on a page. He's flesh and blood, sweat and grit. Cole Hauser didn't steal Rip. He is Rip. The jury deliberated for hours. Outside, the tension was palpable. Fans debated furiously on social media, some siding with Sheridan's right to protect his creation, others championing Hauser's freedom to embody the character he had made iconic. When the verdict was finally read, the courtroom was silent. In the matter of Sheridan v. Hauser, we find in favor of... The pause was agonizing. Mr. Hauser. A collective gasp filled the room. Sheridan's face was a mask of disappointment, while Hauser let out a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. The judge banged his gavel. Mr. Hauser retains the right to use his image in conjunction with the character Rip Wheeler, provided it does not directly compete with Yellowstone merchandise. Court is adjourned. Outside, Hauser was swarmed by reporters. How does it feel to win? One shouted. Hauser smiled faintly. I'm just glad the truth came out. Rip's always been about loyalty and respect, and I hope this reminds everyone of that. Sheridan, walking to his car, was less gracious. This isn't over, he muttered to a confidant. But for the fans, it was just another chapter in the sprawling saga of Yellowstone. A story about loyalty, betrayal, and the fight for what you believe is yours. On the ranch and in the courtroom. In a world where the lines between art and reality blur, even the creators and actors of a beloved series can find themselves at odds. And as Taylor Sheridan and Cole Hauser learned, the spirit of the Dutton Ranch doesn't stay confined to the screen.